Hey Snapchat, it's day 3 of my Snapstorms on cryptocurrencies and blockchains. If you missed day 1 and 2, I'm going to put them on snapstorms.com. I'm going to move through what's a very complicated topic and try to simplify it for you. Let me tell you a couple important points before we start. One goal of a blockchain is to create a unique asset. Even though it's digital, you can't copy it multiple times. It's unique. The reason they're crypto assets is they use cryptography. It's cryptography that creates a unique digital asset. So unlike photos, which I share across the web, even if I don't own the intellectual property, or music, which I rip and then share, you can't have that when it's money. Number 2 important concept about blockchains is that it's a public record. People call this a ledger. Don't let people fool you with fancy words. A public record or a ledger, really this blockchain is just a database that's publicly available. Number 3 important point is that the record is immutable, which means it can't be changed. Immutable is important because if we're going to create these public records that we all trust, we need to know we can rely upon the data not to change. Number 4, you will hear people talk in blockchains all the time about it being decentralized. I'm going to explain that today. In a normal computer system, a company or a government manages the database. They get to control it. In a blockchain, nobody controls it. That means decentralized. And number 5, I want to emphasize that this network is consensus driven. Consensus driven is a topic I'll need to describe another day. Starting point in the system is someone does a transaction. Bill has a 2.5 Bitcoin debit to Sally, who has a 2.5 Bitcoin credit. That's the input, and it's going through an algorithm, and out pops a representation of that data called a hash. Having a unique identifier for the data means that I can process large volumes of data and compare it with a short data set. I then create a single row in a database that has a header and some data associated with it. One of the things that's in the header is the hash representing all of the data that's in this data sequence. Another thing that's in the header is the hash of the previous header. Hash of this entire previous header, which is why it's called a blockchain. A single row is a block, and you chain it together with the previous block. I'll explain why. By chaining together each row in the database, once each has been verified, I can be sure that nothing in the ledger has changed. And in the simplest way, that's what a blockchain is. A row of data is a block. A chain is linking it together through hashes. So I have a computer with resources, with a database, a blockchain database attached to it, and these databases get copied to all other computers connected to the network, and they all have the same data in them. The key is that all of these computers attached to a network that replicate the database, there's nobody in charge of this. It just happens across computers. You could think of this almost like BitTorrent or Napster or Skype. It's a peer-to-peer network, but instead of sharing music, it's sharing databases. So I'm going to start to wrap for today, but you see there's a unique asset sealed with cryptography, a public record, which is these ledgers that are not changeable because of cryptography, that are decentralized. No one controls how they're sent around the various computers, and last, it's consensus driven. Consensus driven means that all of these computers need to agree how to update the database without human involvement. And that's a really complicated topic I'm going to take on in my next Snapstorm.